Today's video is all about the world of Jonathan James, a young computer whiz whose passion for technology took him on a wild ride into the heart of hacking. From hacking his school's network to infiltrating NASA, James's story is a gripping tale of everything extraordinary. But James's journey took a dark turn when his skills caught the attention of authorities, leading to a cat and mouse game with the FBI. Despite attempts to leave his hacking days behind, James found himself ensnared in a web of suspicion and intrigue. Join us as we unravel the thrilling saga of Comrade, a hacker ahead of his time, and find out what became of him at the end. Jonathan James was born in Miami-Dade County, Florida, on December 12, 1983, in a small village called Pinecrest. His dad worked as a computer programmer, and his mom ran the household. Before he was 6 years old, he liked computers because he would play video games on his dad's computer. James's parents quickly realized that their son was spending too much time in front of the computer screen. They tried to put limits on him, but James was able to get around them by using his charisma for hacking from a very young age. This sounds normal, but he took a different turn next. He used to like playing video games, but as he got older, he became more interested in learning the C language. When his dad got home one day, he was surprised to see that his PC had been changed from Windows OS to Linux OS. This showed that he was interested in computers. James put Linux on his dad's computer just because he was interested in trying out the new operating system and learning how it works. You can guess what came next. His teenage years were filled with an obsession with computers and technology. He spent all of his free time, day and night, on his computer. This made his parents take harder steps and take away his computer when he was 13. He left home and wouldn't come back until his parents gave him back his computer. He said that programming and video games weren't hurting his grades because he was getting good grades. You would believe that, except you don't know he had hacked into the network of Miami-Dade County schools and changed his grades on the reports. Now, what's a genius hacker without a sinister name to go with? It was no surprise when James made up the hacking name Comrade around that time because he spent most of his time online talking to other hackers and learning more about hacking every day. Progress is natural, and James too had enough of hacking into schools when he was 15 years old. He set bigger hacking goals. Between June 23, 1999 and October 27, 1999, he broke into a number of different systems. At the time, AT&T Bell South was one of the largest phone companies in the US, and he went after it first. Not all the details of the hack are known, but Comrade got into the company's computers and hacked them without doing any damage. He wasn't trying to make money or take information. Instead, he wanted to test his hacking skills on a bigger company like AT&T Bell South. Still, he wasn't satisfied. In June 1999, he was looking for computers that were easy to connect to by getting around their firewalls. It was in Huntsville, Alabama, and he put malware on it when he found it. He was able to get more access to the system and then moved on to 13 more computers on the network that had been hacked. It was a surprise that the network belonged to the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama, which is part of NASA. When NASA security experts found out that their network had been hacked, they shut down the website and the machines that had been hacked for 3 weeks so they could figure out who did it. This cost NASA $40,000 in direct damages. Whoa, that's a lot of money. And it explains why they did all of what came next. Unfortunately, this was his last hack. He wasn't easy to get, though. To get him arrested, officers from the Defense Department and Pinecrest cops had to work together. Agents with guns and protective suits broke into his home on January 26th and arrested him. 4 PCs, a laptop, and a pocket computer were found and taken from the house. Since he's a computer genius, this should not come as a shock to you. When people at his school heard that he had been arrested, he became popular. Who wouldn't? He also spoke to the media and said the government wasn't doing enough to protect their computer network. He said he knew the C programming language like the back of his hand and studied it non-stop, day and night, so he could easily break into systems that weren't safe. It became clear that James did not run bugs, delete files, or change passwords during the probe. The fact that he was only 16 years old at the time worked out well for him on the day the judgment was announced. James was put under house arrest for 6 months, and he could only use a computer for schoolwork and not for fun. It sounds like the judgment was easy on him, but for someone like James, you could say it wasn't much further from a death sentence. Soon, the cops caught him on the street for breaking the rules of his house arrest. Afterwards, his blood test showed that he had also used drugs. That left the court with no choice but to impose a stricter punishment. The old term was put on hold, and he was given a 6-month jail sentence in an Alabama youth correctional center. Also, that was the first time in U.S. history that a youth went to jail for a computer crime, which made the news stories bigger all over the world. James finished his term and was let out of the youth correctional center after 6 months. He stayed away from the media and lived a normal life with his parents in Pinecrest. James wanted to live a normal life, but things don't always go the way we planned them. In January 2007, the Secret Service was looking for Albert Gonzalez, who was in charge of a huge cybercrime gang. Gonzalez was responsible for credit card breaches at TJX, Boston Market, Dave & Buster's, DSW, OfficeMax, and other stores. The hackers stole the credit card information of millions of users and used it illegally, which caused a lot of damage to both the firms and their clients. It was said that some of James's coworkers and friends were in the gang, and the fact that an unknown hacker working with Gonzalez went by the name JJ made the police even more suspicious of James. And this was enough for the Secret Service to get a warrant to search his home. The unknown JJ turned out to be Stephen Watts, who often used the fake name Jim Jones when he signed up for the network. There was nothing the police could find that linked James to the ongoing crimes, and the gun that was found with him was also registered, so he wasn't arrested. The events made James very depressed, and he was discovered dead in his bathroom on May 18, 2008, having shot himself in the head with the same gun that the police found during the raid. A note about killing himself and his PayPal and other account keys were found next to him. Within the note it said, "I do not trust our justice system. Maybe my actions today and this letter will send a strong message to the public, but I have lost control of the situation, and this is the only way for me to fix it. I have nothing to do with this TJX story, to be honest. Chris Scott and Albert Gonzalez are the most damaging and dangerous hackers the FBI has ever caught, but public opinion is much more likely to get me to do what it wants than these two random idiots. That's life. Remember, I win or lose by being locked up for 20, 10, or even 5 years for a crime I didn't do. This is how I plan to win, but at least I'll be free when I die." In the years that followed, many stories spread around about how he died that were never proven to be true. It was said that it was all a lie and that he really died because he got top secret information when he hacked into NASA and the Pentagon. All these claims were thrown out as mere guesses by the formal investigation, which found that James killed himself. And that's a very sad ending. What are your thoughts on this, though? Do you think he killed himself, or was he killed? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section.